everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. We are the Mengelas. If you are new here, please do not forget to hit that notification bell and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also leave your lovely comments in the comment section. If you are returning, thank you so much, and I hope you are also subscribed and you can hit that, you have that notification bell hit. In today's video, we are taking you along to our trip to the south. As you all know, that the Mengela is from Luderitz, born and raised, and that is also where we met, but that's a story for another day. Please let me know in the comment section if you guys also want to hear how we met. I am born and raised in the north, however my family is from Luderitz. In this video we traveled to Kolmanskop, so tag along. So this drive is quite long, driving down the southern part of Namibia from Windhoek. It took us about 7 hours and 40 minutes on average speed, and the distance is about 683 kilometers. The view is so beautiful. You have a very beautiful landscape, beautiful mountains, different type of trees and whatnot. So yeah, at this point, let's just really quickly admire how beautiful this drive is. Kolmanskop, also famously known as the ghost town of Namibia, was built in around 1908, where a railway worker found a diamond, and that is how the town of Kolmanskop was born. They also say that the fifth of the world's diamonds were coming from this town. Kolmanskop is about 10 kilometers inland from the port of Luderitz. You also have to book a session for a tour guide to actually guide you. The first day we went there, we had to go back because we were late. Not forgetting to mention that whenever you drive past by Kolmanskop, or rather the ghost town, you'd actually not really think that there's anything happening there, because I mean, from a distance this whole town is also buried in sand. You see like very small structures from a distance, and to actually just get there, and there is a lot happening. But yeah, stay tuned. Thank you. Good morning. But better late than never. Catch up with you tonight. Okay. You just follow through. Okay. Okay.
Billion years ago. Okay, so you go to Africa, 5 billion years ago. Okay, and of course there was a lot of activity, and you know the world has got tectonic plates. Yeah. It's got a lot of plates together. When they move, everybody moves. Okay, so in that process, then of course you had volcanoes coming up and all the rest of it. You look at your old movies in it. Okay, so what actually happened is there when the volcanoes went up. If I take this was a Coke bottle or a cold drink bottle, and I shake it, and I take the top off, and you'll see all that fizz, the gas will come out. Okay. So X amount comes out and splashes all over the show, but about 2/3 will remain in the bottle. Okay, you won't get rid of it. Have you heard of Kimberley, where they've got the big hull? Have you heard of the big hull in Kimberley or Pretoria? No. Okay, that was in 1888. Okay. That's that big war that had the English against Africans.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, all I'm just trying to describe here is that the bottom part. Okay, so now I've opened the bottle, spurred on the top. The rest of the stuff that's at the bottom is in the form of pipes, and they call it kimberlite pipes. So you can imagine if these were pipes, there's 1 year, 1 year, 1 year. So to get to those pipes, because the diamonds are inside, you have to make this huge, big hole, and that's why it's a hole. And they've got one in Kimberley, and there's another one in Pretoria as well, where they've got the diamonds on. These diamonds, of course, been washed by the sea. So if you go back 65 million years to 120 million years ago, there was an eruption. There was a build-up of the continent in the south. So now that's from Kimberley, the middle part, the southern part of South Africa, because of the tectonic plates, there was a lot of movement. So you get the Drakensberg, the Lesotho, and all this type of thing. And with this process, and then water and rain, you found that all the diamonds were taken from then and washed into the river. Okay, so the first diamond was found in 1868, Orange River on the bank, a place called Hopetown near Kimberley. So the diamonds obviously go into the river, and the river comes all the way through past Uppington, coming all the way down Fish River Canyon, and then in the Orange River, all the way down into the sea. Okay, so if I explain here now, you'll see the Fish River Canyon is over here. Okay, the side here is Uppington, so here comes the river. Then it turns off here, goes all the way down to the mouth of the Orange River. It's a little town called Oranienmoond. Okay. And what happens is the current of the sea actually pushes the diamonds then down this way to Cape Town, which is referred to as the so-called West Coast. Okay, and alternatively it pushes it back up north as well, as you can see, all the way up here to Luderitz and beyond, up to Walvis Bay. But the catch is that when the diamonds come down now, all the way, but the beauty was that diamond is gem quality. So all the diamonds you find, you can make rings, all that type of thing. Okay, 5% you could basically write, but 95% was gem quality. And the reason being is that as it came down the river, it's washing down, and of course the wind blowing it on the sand also sharpening off the diamond. Okay, so you can pick the diamond up and you can see it. Some
Gymnastics.
I'm sure you'll enjoy this. Look at the top end there. You see that little glass on the top there?
Yeah.
They had silent movies in 1920. Okay, this thing started building in 1927, completed in 1928. Okay, so they had silent movies up top there, down to the theatre above here, so you have a lot of theatre going on here. And then of course there was this big competition, especially with the ships, to dancing, ballroom dancing and any other function that took place up here. Okay, that was basically it. What is quite interesting, in 1978, the town was really starting to crumble, and the people were pinching all the building material. So they were taking the doors, the orientated again. Here's house over here. When you guys came down, you can see the railway line next to the road when you drive. Over here, then the wild horses are here. I don't know if you saw the wild horses, they're over here.
Yeah.
And then you've got that little mountain on the side there called depleted. Behind the mountain, that's where they actually get their water from Luderitz. At the back, you've got an underground lake called Koicha. Okay, so it gets pumped. You see along the road, there's a lot of pumps and pipes on the side that pump it through to town. And I wanted to explain to you, how did this place get called Luderitz? Okay, because there was a guy by the name of Adolf Luderitz. He was a tobacconist, okay, merchant, and he actually wanted to come and set business in it, it was. And he also heard that in this part of the world, there's a lot of minerals. Not diamonds, just minerals. Because in that time, 1850, 1860, they found a lot of copper, and Europe wanted copper. Okay, in South Africa, in Kimberley, Springbok, that part of the world, they found copper. Okay, and the Irish actually came down there, and they were busy mining there at that point in time. So that's what they actually had to cover. But he needed the government to support him, so he went to Germany, to the government. Okay, and he asked the Chancellor there, Otto von Bismarck, that they should actually start a little settlement over here, because at that time, you heard of Scramble for Africa. When everybody in Europe was taking part of Africa, Belgians took this, Belgium, Congo, Ghana went to England, and all the rest of it. Germany was a bit late. Okay, so they came here in 1883. So when he came in 1883, on behalf of him, he had a guy here by the name of Vogelsang. And then, of course, we had the Captain Fredericks over here, which is one of the clans up top here, to obviously try and purchase some land. So what they did is they bought, if you've been to Luderitz now, that's the harbour area over here. So it's the harbour area plus 5 miles all the way around that. Okay, that's what they bought. And they bought that for £100 sterling in gold and 200 rifles. That was it.
Wow.
Penny opening. Okay. But you can imagine if you came here and just saw sand, I mean, who's going to come here and go, But the fact of the matter is, 3 months later, they wanted more. They then purchased from the mouth of Orange River, all the way up, all these bays, right past Luderitz, all the way up to the 26th degree, okay, and 20 miles in.
Wow.
Okay, and they bought that for £600 sterling, okay, 260 rifles, that's all they paid. Okay, and then of course the 20 miles in, they lied. Well, they didn't lie, they just said, okay, 20 miles in. But the captain over there didn't know the difference between an English mile and a geographical mile. Okay, so English mile is 1 point something, geographical mile is 7. So what they do is, so this 20 miles end up being 7 times 20, it's 140.
Yeah.
So instead of 20, it went all the way right past us up top here, this fall. It's part of Luderitz.
Wow.
Okay. And then as you see these guys crawling over here.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's actually right on the bay, about 100 kilometers from here. You've got a valley, and it's actually on what you call like the bedrock, it's the bottom of the sea. You can see there's not much sand up there. If there was sand, there would be a little sand like that. But the diamonds are just lying all over the show. And then, as they would say, when the moon was shining, these guys would go down and you could pick the diamonds up. That's what they're doing there now. Okay, so there were stacks of diamonds.
Wait, those are actually people laying on the ground.
So that just reaffirms what I tell you, the wind in actual fact is blowing this stuff here. It's not like in Kimberley, in the Kimberley pipes underneath that you would dig for. These are all just lying on the top. And that's why these are unusual diamonds. Okay, then the question is, okay, so where did they get their water from? Because there was no fresh water here. The water actually came from Cape Town by ship, 1,000 ton a month. So you had this big ship coming from Cape Town, right into the harbour. The harbour wasn't deep enough, so the ship had to park outside, transfer it to another smaller sort of boat, then bring it into the quay, put it into the tanks, and on the railway line to bring it through to over here. But the reason why I brought you here too is just to show you this. These are mules. Now this over here in actual fact is a water tank. So there's water inside it. Okay. So they brought the water all the way from Cape Town all the way and then back into that, and they take it out here to the guys in the mine. That's where you got your water. Here you can see this one is doing it here too. Okay, at the back there, for the mules. Okay. And remember I mentioned that place about the Elizabeth Bay? We said we're in dunes going all the way to the sea. This is Elizabeth Bay mine here. Okay. And this one comes, it's built here in 1923-24, after this one. So it was a more modern one. The difference between the two, this is a dry area, and that plant was a wet plant. The process of it. So you can see this is the sea over there, that's sea, all the way around. And here is obviously going into the sea, and they pump seawater coming from here all the way back in. Okay, so the seawater was pumped from there to up on the hill here. You'll see the dam on top there. Okay. So every house over here will have seawater as well. Even till this day now, there's still lots of things. I know one station the guys are going to put chewing gum, put the diamond in the chewing gum, come to the exam machine, stick it on the wall. As you can see, there's a bit of a porch. So you can, if you want to take photos, you can take from the top end. And inside it's very spacious. The bathrooms look nice. It gives you an indication how the guys look. The second house over here is got a little red roof. There's a little porch over there too. That was the architect. Okay. And he stayed over there. Now they say if you can get up top there and you stand on that stoop there, when it's a clear day, you can see the sea.
Oh wow.
Okay. So I mean, that's 28
Go check it
kilometers.
out. Go check it out. Did you see it today?
We're gonna, it's on say, but you got to look at the weather to see if it's clear or not. You know, it looks a bit hazy to me.
Okay. Oh, the boat. Look, a little boat.
That's a bath. You can have a sand bath there. Okay, this house over here, this double-story house over here, is the accountant's house. And then, of course, this one straight across here is where most of the photos will be taken, because you can see because of the architecture. Okay, that's where the teachers used to stay. But as you can see, the house it's basically collapsed at the back there. It's got its backside on a dune at the back there. Now, if you go into any of these buildings, of course, you're doing it at your own risk. Okay, then all I can tell you is that if you go to this one here, and you're inside there, when you take your photo, if you see the roof starting to come down, just throw your camera out. I want to see what's the last shot you took.
Probably of me screaming.
Okay, this double one over here is the quartermaster stores, okay, kwartiermeester. And this guy obviously orders all the logistics for that place. His other secondary function was that he was in charge of the rec club. So all the organising it was also his function as well. That little building on the top end over there, that's the post office. The little one straight ahead?
Yeah.
Okay, built in 1909.
Sure.
Okay, so if you've got a stamp, it'll be worth them. And then that little long building on the side there, it was the telephone exchange, so they had telephone exchange then as well. And then, of course, that photo, that's why I wanted you to see the picture. That's the chief engineer's place. Okay, if I just brought you now, you said, oh, well, what is it? Okay, now he knows what you've got to do.
How it looked like.
And of course, this whole row here was called Millionaires Row for obvious reasons. It was all the rich guys and they're making all the decisions. And then in this process as well, they also had a narrow gauge line, okay, or like little bus service, little shuttle service, that you could travel from here all the way down to the area. Okay. You go there. And of course, if you find a diamond, what do you do with it? You put it in your pocket. And
Swallow it.
Now what I used to do is if you see a diamond, then the best thing to do is to put your foot on it, push it back into the ground. Because if I pick it up, then I'm going to make a declaration of 6 papers. I've got to go to the cop shop. They're going to watch me for 6 months. They say I'm an illegal diamond buyer. Yeah. And they'll be x-raying me every 5 seconds. So the best is just leave it and ignore it.
It's not worth the hassle.
But if you go to a Runnyman, for example, that one was totally closed. And you were only allowed to go out once a month. And you were x-rayed once a month. Okay, so there's just no ways in hell you're going to pinch anyone. And everything that's in the town belongs to the company. Everything.
Yeah.
You know, you can see on the top there the dune that's going. See how it goes? From there, there it goes there, on the edge here, there it goes, right there where the sun is shining there.
Oh,
so that's the
yes,
actual belt. It's almost like in a valley, and that's where the wind's coming all the way through there. Okay. Now the guys come, this is actually the windy time of the year, as it is right at the moment now. And you get the guys coming from Europe to do windsurfing, to break the speed record, because of the speed of the wind here, 120, 130 kilometers an hour. That's why they come.
Skid on this sand.
But I mean, who wants to come and live here? You must be crazy. Can I be for diamonds?
Well, I live in Minnesota, so that's certified. I'm crazy.
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, we only watch movies from Minnesota.
And it's true. It's very, very cold.
Yeah.
What's the reason? You keep the t-shirt. That's about all you get. Okay, what you got over here now? This over here is the commercial area. You've got that chimney over there. Okay, that was the bakery. Really like in continental Europe, wherever you got your business, your accommodation or house, next to it or above it. Okay, so obviously the building next door to it there, that's the owner's building. This over here, that's some apprentices obviously working in a bakery. This side over here is the butcher. And the ice factory where they made ice. And then further on there's a general dealer as well. Okay, so we'll go to the car's turning now, we'll come around there. Back again. Tell me to do this.
I'll just jump on your back.
And whatever they sell to the buy, so everything from caviar to wine, to cheese, to furniture, to spade. Okay. And of course, one owner, one price. You don't buy it, you don't get it, so you make a nice cut. On the left-hand side, what they put in here too is now some of the nurses, the tire that they've had. You see on the bed there too, there's some equipment, some of the machines they use, looks a bit old. And the bottom, of course, the old bed.
It's interesting to see. And then there's a telephone.
And of course on this side here, what they're trying to do, you see these fossils and stuff that they found here. Because we go, X amount of million years ago, this stuff used to be a swamp. Okay. So with all the fossils that they're finding out, you're finding creatures that didn't exist like the start of the river. And if you go out to the orange river, going up to the 10 kilometers from the sea, it's called Dallas, the Dallas Ochas. Here then, you know, when the river comes down like that, it meanders, it makes like the oxbow lake like that, and then eventually it cuts it off. So when they went back up top there, in this cut-off area, they actually quite deep down, they actually found a lot of fossils over there. The professor from UCT Cape Town University, they spent 6 months here getting all the fossils and stuff like that. You see the stuff they found. It's everything.
See, this is still intact.
Now you can see with the wind blowing, there's water pressure going on. Okay, so this is how you see it nice.
It's a dress.
Remember, everything that came in there was equal today. Everything. Doesn't matter what it's called.
My gosh,
It's manufactured here.
this is beautiful.
What they're going to do also, remember, the telephones, a glass telephone. So they use it also maybe. Okay, but of course with all these systems, there's always someone on the switchboard.
Yeah.
So someone's always listening.
Yes.
So if you're messing around my wife, I'm here tonight in the pub. These things, so you always use it. This over here is some of the orders that we actually put down. So these are original requests written in German. And you can see the typewriter they used over here.
The type
Maybe you're going to
machine.
type that old one.
Yeah.
So on the top, you're going to push it hard.
Yeah.
Now you can see this.
How come their furniture is still intact? This is really good quality. They had to make sure it lasts for 50 years and longer.
They're Germans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, there's a whole library here.
Okay, let's go through to the kitchen. we actually showed you here is your favourite. So this, of course, is your fridge. Okay. So this is your block of ice that goes in here. You'll see at the back here they've got a little pipe. So obviously when this starts melting, it goes into the pipe, and there must have been a tray on the floor to take the flow. And of course, as far as we're concerned, the older generation, as long as you can put a case of beers here, it's fine. Top shelf is good enough for the case of beers, it'll come on a cask with one.
Bottle Sauvignon Blanc. I'm happy.
Sauvignon
Now,
Blanc.
this over here, of course, was their washing machine. And remember, I told you there's seawater. You've only got 2 of you got 40 litres of water. They must wash your clothes. Are you going to use your fresh water?
No.
Wash it in seawater. Okay. And then your final rinse to get the salt out, obviously, then you'll use some fresh water. So then you do. But if you're given a difficult time, she'll just leave it. So at the end of the day, you get that salt on your body.
How did this operate? You need to...
This is a special invention. If you want to open up a business up north,
Yes,
get
please.
this.
Then the
Just like
bamboos.
this. It's simple.
Yeah, it's very simple.
There you are there. No smoke, no energy. Do your washing. Start a fan up north, you can sell it to all the guys up top.
Yeah.
You make money. Okay, you all know this is not here. What did you see how that cheap? There's a wheat box in that. The old days
Wheat
was-
bits.
No, that's rubbish. That's like 20 years ago, man. It used to be a box. Never used to get that. Cheap.
But it's still the wheat bits that we do, just different breading, right? Like a whole box and...
No, wheat picks used to come in a little box, not that. That third thing came out for the buckets to put their molds in. Okay, then here, of course, you can see they just got some furniture. But that chair over there, I know it's 1960s. That there. And this, the bed, it basically comes from out of the hospital. Okay, so it's nothing supposed to be ancient. They're cheating again.
Yeah, well.
This over here is quite interesting, obviously, because this is one bed. Okay, it doesn't rain here, so obviously it was for the shade. Okay, I thought this would be for the snooker cue.
Yeah.
No snooker, but it's not. It's more for these walking sticks. Okay, so you put in there, they make the mix. And of course, it's coal fire.
Yeah.
And guess where the coal comes from? Wales.
Wales.
Yeah, not from Germany. Because you know the German coal fields are right on the top.
Yeah.
So if you come back, you'll have to come there via Sweden, Holland, they're all the way back there. So of course you can get at the bottom end of the UK. There's a chute right through, and these boats all go to the Cape anyway, to the Cape Colony. So all the coals come from Wales. Okay, so it's coal fired, made here, and made the sausages here. They also used to make smuggling here as well. And then as the story goes, when the guys were there and they started getting hungry, the youngsters, at this bowling alley, and they would come in here and pinch some sausage. But remember, there aren't all that many people here. So everybody knows everybody else. So if you just pinch this out here, I'll know that he was there last night. He looks like a cook. And so they would just say, okay, it's some sausage, and just put the bill between the two of you, and then you just would have to pay. That's what they actually get. And another interesting point is those two of those 80 guys, those 800 guys that came in when they ate, in their mess they also had a long thing like this, cementing from here all the way down to the top. Okay. Then you say these cooking jars, 1, 2, 3, 4. The guys will come in one door, two door. But this side that they got here, it's made of wood, but it's so old that it's actually got the pathway is inside the wood. So if I say talking to you and I just drop it down there on its own, it goes all on its own. You never have a little drink, beer and schnapps.
At this point, they allowed us to actually have a tour on our own, to have a much closer view to the infrastructures. But it's just amazing how actually more than 100 years ago, people used to live here and they had a normal life. They had schools, they had nurses and hospitals, a library, everything else. But with time, everything fades away and now it's just buildings with sand. As you can see, we are almost drained out after our outside walk, where we were looking at the infrastructure. We came inside to just read on a couple of stuff. These are different methods that they were used to smuggle diamonds. Some of them used to hide them in their shoes. They also used pigeons, or they would swallow them up until some methods were actually caught, and they then used the fixed X-ray machine that they brought to the site. But if you find yourself here, please continue watching and enjoy. So the pigeon story is true, and it is real. I thought it was a made-up story. Well, if you find yourself here, it means you've watched till the end. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this video. Do not forget to give us some thumbs up and leave your lovely comments in the comment section. We hope also this was very informative for you and you've learned one or two things about the ghost town in Luderitz. Next time you find yourself in the south, do make time to actually stop by and have an experience of a lifetime. Thank you so much. Enjoy. Toodles. Till next time.